All right, guys, welcome back to another real versus fake. These are the 2024 Jordan 4 Fears. Um, there was a lot of anticipation on the shoe a couple of years ago. Now it's out. It's kind of still available out there in certain sizes. Um, so why would you ask? Why would they make a rep of a shoe that's a brick, as resellers say? Um, to be honest, bricks eventually sell out, and if you don't want to pay that premium price on the secondary market, um, you know, that's why these replications are made. Obviously, authentic to the right, reps on the left. Also, wanted to give a shout out to the new subscribers that follow me on YouTube. Much appreciated, guys. Shout out to He Got Kicks for the plug on his channel. For letting you guys know about what I do here on this channel. So much respect to him. So moving forward here again, as I said, we're going to go ahead, compare these shoes, see how things look, and hopefully this can help some authenticators out there look for additional things and help you guys not get scammed if you have to pay for this on the secondary market. Hence, yep, your reselling apps such as Goat, eBay, Stadium Goods, StockX, and so forth, or off the street. We know how it goes. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to have a look at the boxes, then the labels and the shoes, black light test. We'll look at the stitching and so forth. We'll get all into it. So uh, let's go ahead and move forward here, and let's go ahead and dig into the guts of these boxes here. Okay, so as you already see here, again, no question, huge size difference. Now, for those that aren't too familiar with replications, typically the box, they're going to make it as small as possible for the shoe to fit in it to save on shipping and logistics. So that's why a lot of times you see a smaller box for replications. That's not to say authentic boxes don't fluctuate too. They actually do. I have authentic pairs, especially like pairs from Nike back in like 2018, 2017, 2019. And some boxes came larger than others, even for a large shoe size. It just happens that way, but we'll get into that in another video. So here we go. As you can see, the replication here, they did get the design right and so forth of the lid as the authentic here, but obviously it's just small, too small. So the Jumpman's too small, the word Flight is too small. As usual, boxes beat up. Let's see what else we got here. We have the internal tissue paper, and there's your fake StockX tag. The reason why you see a lot of these is not so much that they're necessarily trying to scam somebody, making you think you're buying something authentic. It's in there to pass through customs. So customs thinks that it's legitimate product. So these items do get security checked. So let's have a look at the authentic box here, internals. Here we go. So rep is darker print than the authentic. A bit more tissue paper came in. It does wrap both shoes. They used each individual tissue paper here to wrap each shoe. There we go. Here we go. This does have the YDM sticker right there on the edge. Is this like a translucent one? No. And it has some grooves on it, but I don't feel anything on this. Nope. I feel it's just a flat, glossy surface on the authentic pair. And I'm going to check real quick to see if the replicated pair came with one, and it did not. Is that always going to mean the shoe was unauthentic? No, it's just one of those things that you want to raise your eyebrow to if you start seeing things missing like that, at least for this particular pair of shoes, no doubt. So now let's go ahead and, let me just move a little bit further into it here. Let's have a look at the outer. Yep, here we go, of the shoe box. There we go. So obviously cleaner, pristine, better print quality job and so forth. You see a lot of ridges here and so forth on the print job. But that's the major difference there. Sometimes some of the words might be misspelled, but on here I can tell they're not misspelled. And let's move forward now to the labels. So here's the authentic pair. As I always say, clean, and pristine, right? Air Jordan 4 Retro, black, white, anthracite, black, and so forth and so forth. Made in Vietnam, as it says there in the label. UPC ends in 716. What I do want to say for the UPC, this is a domestic pair. This pair is obtained within the United States. Okay, it did not come from Sweden or Europe or anything like that. So for this domestic pair, for this size 12, 716 is the last three digits of the UPC code. This could vary from region, so that's why I said what I said about this being a domestic pair. Let's have a look at the rep. Okay, so right off the bat, looking at the rep tag, you can already see Air Jordan 4 Retro. However, the color coding is wrong. They have black, white, cool gray, which on the authentic, it's black, white, anthracite, black. So they got that wrong. They did get the made in Vietnam correct. UPC code is incorrect. The last three digits here is 616. The authentic is 716. Close but no cigar, right? And we can leave it at that here. Looks like they had the price tag on it, so they pulled that off. But we know on a lot of pairs Nike releases now there's no price tag. So now let's go ahead and move forward. Okay, so here we are with the shoes now, guys. We're going to go ahead and go over the differences and so forth. So what you probably noticed now, authentic to the right, replication to the left. Now to the authentic here, you see the cardboard sleeves that come on the tongue. This is actually something Nike's been doing as of late, which is not allowing the bleeding of the color on the tongue to get on the internal sock liner as we see here. So kudos to them on that. You know, they are still having challenges with their quality control and so forth, but at least they're doing little things to help preserve the shoe as best as possible for their release. So something you can kind of see as well right off the bat here, looking at the tongues. Now this is supposed to be the 2024 replication, even though to me it almost seems like a hybrid, like it's the 2013 release and the 2024 release with certain updates on it. But yeah, you see here how the tongue curves back, rounded here. See, it's like a square. It's got that old school tongue on it, so that's definitely incorrect. So I just wanted to call that out real quick. It was pretty simplistic one there to look at. So we're going to go ahead here, looking at the authentic here on the right, rep to the left. And maybe you don't see it, but it's pretty apparent. You see the gray here on the upper mudguard. On this, I guess this is some type of like a nubuck here, maybe a Durabuck. But anyway, you see the color tone is completely different. This is more of a cool gray here on the replication to the left, and to the right, you definitely have a darker gray, no question. So right off the bat, we see what time it is. Now, to be fair, when it comes to the uppers here, it's nearly identical. As you see that kind of the ashy black here on the upper, above the midsole, the K-jean looks very, very similar and close. Just a little bit of hair of a different shape on the rep to the left versus the right here on the authentic. Now the black here on the wing is darker than the rep to the left. To be honest though, they did definitely match the color tone on the lace waffles here. They did match that. And as we already went over, the tongues are obviously different. Too tall and big on the rep to the left versus the authentic to the right. The tag, the Jumpman flight tags are very close as we compare them with one another. They both got the booty, the cheek popping out, both nearly identical. The word flight on the rep to the left is a little bit bigger, a little bit bolder, you know, minorly messier per se. The stitching on the tag is near identical to the authentic. It's just not as sharp. We'll just say that. And here's a close look. So you see, it's like I said, it's like a shade color tone off here on the toe versus the authentic to the right. No question. Let's have a look here. Let's look at it this way, guys. Again, authentic to the right, rep to the left. As you can see, can you see the difference here? Like the stitching here under the wing, how small, sharp it is versus the rep. It's a bit overscaled and much more noticeable. And that's something as well to look for in shoes, guys. Reps. Typically, even if they're really, really close to the authentic, they're typically overscaled. So if you're a size 12, it'll be a bigger version of a size 12, versus the authentic. It'll still fit like one typically, but that's what's going on. Let's have a look at the Jumpmans in the back. So as you see, the elephant, excuse me, I'm always getting caught up saying elephant. The heel cut here of the nubuck here going up is higher than the authentic to the right. Again, Jumpman is nearly identical. Looks to be a little bit off center on the rep to the left there. And possibly a little smaller. You see how the shoes, the feet are nearly touching near the stitching there of the material here. Here, definitely not at all. So Jumpman's a bit smaller. Pull tabs, let's compare them. The rep is actually a lot stronger and tighter. The authentic is just, looser, a little bit more flimsy. That's what's under the tags. The pull tabs, I should say. And let's have a look here. Now, something I like people to look at is the actual air units here. For size 12 Jordan 4s, typically you have 3 air units in them. And here there's 3. It's kind of hard to see, but they're red, and there is 3 of them. 3 posts in the air unit or columns. Rep also has 3. So this is how detailed they've been going into the stuff nowadays. Super, super detailed. So let's go ahead now and look at the other shoes and keep it moving. All right, so let's grab this here. Authentic on the left, rep to the right. Again, you can see bulkier mudguard on the rep to the right again, and correct color on that mudguard. Again, it's more of a cool gray versus this darker gray. And maybe you want to say it's more of a wet cement gray on the Fear authentic. Also, we got a darker wing on the authentic than the rep here to the right. Again, caging is nearly identical. They both of that material here, this nubuck or whatnot, they're both transitional. A little bit more of a stronger transition on the authentic to the left versus the rep to the right. Let me have a look here. Okay, so on the rep here on the right, we have a smaller area that they did of caging. Let's see, it's actually a strong caging here as well. Okay, it's more of a rubber on the, or elastic, I guess, on the authentic. Versus here, it's like a really strong, it's a different material. It's it almost feels like it's plastic. Again, you see the differences in the tongues, obviously the shape and the quality of the Jumpman. Now what I see that's pretty interesting, let me see something here. Okay, so the Jumpman on the authentic, it's pretty symmetrical with the word flight, not too uneven. And on the rep, it's a little bit more uneven per se, at an angle. But nonetheless, those are some differences there. Again, I'm looking here. Let's see, the sock liner color nearly identically matches. The tone on the rep is definitely lighter, a lot lighter. Almost like a pure white versus the authentic, which definitely is not that bright of a white. It's a bit darker, a bit more of a dull white, if you want to say it that way. And let's have a look here. See, okay, so in this case, let's see here, we got the authentic on the right, rep on the left. You see the different color tones. So here again, you see how close the feet are to the material here versus here, they're further apart. Pull tab, again, a little bit looser, flimsier on the authentic. Really strong and a little bit thicker on the replication. Crazy stuff here, guys. And again, back to the air units. We got 3 air units in both the authentic and the rep. Excuse me, 3 posts in the air unit. I'm always catching myself doing that. So again, for size 12, usually it's size 11 and a half or higher. You'll typically get 3. I believe in the Amamanya 4s, they only did 2 uh, posts in the air unit this time around. And let's have a look here at the outsole. Again, nearly identical. Tough call, but the authentic outsole is definitely a darker black, a richer black color tone than the rep on the left. So that will conclude looking at the outer areas of the shoe. And now we're going to dig in further, have a look at the internal stitching, the internal factory labels. We'll do a black light test, and we'll pretty much finish it off from there, and we'll keep it moving. And one more thing I did want to add, guys, for the authentic pairs, as Nike's been doing, they come with internal tissue paper, and it should not come with the cardboard internal shoe tray. So again, just something to raise your eyebrow on. I know in the aftermarket, sometimes certain things get lost, so they'll put tissue or other shoe trees in, but in this case, no doubt, should not be coming with a cardboard shoe tree, at least for our US domestic pairs. Let's keep it moving. Okay, so as you can see here, to the right, we have the authentic insole. Here is the unauthentic to the left. Now, obviously, you see the US size tag there, size 12. And here, it's not a US size tag, it's an overseas one. And obviously, the black on the authentic is not as black. It's kind of like has like a gloss to it, almost gives you like that velvet look appeal to it. So that's incorrect. We're going to flip it. Authentic does have the glossy dream cell on the rear. This rep, flat matte black with the dream cell wording there. So definitely a major difference there. So it's another way you can look is by the insoles, guys. So now let's keep it moving forward. Okay, guys, so we've made it to the part of the stitching and tags. So looking at the internal stitching here, at the authentic and the rep, they're both pretty similar. But the stitching around the lasting board on the authentic to the left, you see it's a bit more jagged, a lot tighter versus the replication to the right. Just a little bit more spread out. Does that mean the shoe's going to fall apart any easier? I don't think so, but it is what it is. It does have the red measurements and guidelines, so forth, on the lasting board on the rep as it does on the authentic, which it's a bit more faded. But as far as it goes, though, they're very, very close with one another. So looking at the authentic and rep here of the internal tags, give me some grace, guys. It was really hard to get the photo for the rep because the tag was way, way too low deep into the shoe. But anywho, you see they pretty much did get a lot of the information correct on the tag, except they got the wrong tag dates on the rep, which says 3/20 through June 17th of 24, which the authentic says April 3rd through July 26th of 24. They both do say made in Vietnam, but you do see the quality of the tag on the rep to the right. It's like a bit of an off-white color. It's not as bright and clean and pristine as the tag on the authentic to the left. It does have the Jumpman there as well, the US 12. Text looks a little bit larger on the replicated tag. And let's keep it moving from here. Okay, so glad you made it this far. We're now going to go ahead and get into the black light test. So let me cut the LEDs off. Let's turn on the black light, which you can get at your fingertips from the Amazon app for just a few bucks. And here we go. Let's look at the replication. I am not seeing any guidelines or any ghost stitching of any sort. It's actually looking, yeah. Now one thing is sometimes they'll be hiding behind the pull tab. Let's see here. Nope. Wow. Let's look at the outsole. Nope, nothing at all. Do see some like redness here. We're probably going to see blotches of that. We'll see if we see that on the authentic. So I'm not seeing any factory stamps at all. Not on the sock liner either. Or in the rear, there's the upside down Air Jordan as it's supposed to be. The authentic shows the same thing. Okay, here we go. Not seeing anything on this particular pair as well. Nope, not at all. Let's see against, yeah, see that watermark there, as they call. That's usually if they mess up a paint job or something there on the shoe, covered up with something else. So that's where you'll usually see that. It does actually happen on authentic pairs as well, by the way. I believe the Travis Scott Mocha Highs did that. Let's have a look at the authentic. Nope, not seeing any guidelines, obviously, which at this point I have not seen actual guidelines on authentic pairs yet. And on the rear, there's the upside down Air Jordan. The rear, let's see. Nope, no watermarks on the outsole whatsoever. Let's have a look at the other shoe here now. And nope, not seeing anything here, nor on the outsole. Now, if you guys definitely see something, let me know in the comments. But yeah, on the authentic, not seeing anything out of the ordinary here. Couple glue spots. Yeah, that's glue there. Seeing glue on the backlight there and the actual outsole. And now what I am going to check on the replication, which this is where we say the box matters. Because usually on the box label of the shoe, of the box, of the shoe box, I should say, usually there's a factory stamp on it. Usually it's there within the UPC, but I'm actually not seeing it. So this particular factory did not stamp their logo on it. Sometimes it is even on the inside, guys. I'm going old school here like I used to, just going all over inside these boxes. But yeah, no factory stamp whatsoever. This particular third-party factory is definitely remaining incognito. All right, so that'll conclude the blacklight test. Let's keep it moving. All right, guys, so thanks for hanging out with your boy. I appreciate y'all sticking it through the whole video for those of you that did. For those of you that didn't, that maybe wanted to skip around to see a few things to try to authenticate your own shoes, I'm cool with that. It's all good. Trust me. This is here to help the community. This is not to promote reps or anything like that on this channel. This is just to showcase the differences so you guys know what is up. And again, this is not to promote replicas whatsoever. This is, I'm not even going to say this isn't for entertainment purposes. This is really for educational purposes to keep people aware out there and just to know what to look for as they either get into sneakers or they want to start authenticating their own sneakers at home, and if they purchase things from the secondary market and so forth. So it's completely understandable, guys. But with that, any questions, you can email me down below. Follow me on IG, guys. Definitely comment in the section. Let me know if you see something I didn't call out or maybe I was wrong about. We're all getting educated with each other day after day. So with that, y'all know what it is. The Authentication Guru out.